Well, as you saw in the previous segment, I could not get this 2-cycle weed eater made by McCullough. It's a Mac 65 SL, I believe it is. Couldn't get it to run, so I fiddled with this carburetor a little bit, and upshot of it is I think this carb's just going to have to be rebuilt. It's been sitting a long time and it's just due, so that's what I'm going to do. I went to my local lawnmower repair place up there in Huntsville here and got a overhaul kit. It's made by Walbro, and got that, and I also got a new same in a fuel line and a new strainer filter at the bottom. The old line was actually not broken, but it was virtually petrified, wouldn't even bend anymore. So, and the filter broke off when I tried to take it off the bottom, so had to have that. And we almost thought we weren't going to find an air filter for it, but as it turned out, we think we got one that's going to work. I hope it will. So take that little piece here out of the center, but this one is hopefully close enough. So I'm going to launch into rebuilding this carburetor, and I'm not going to do a video on that because there's several good videos out on that subject, probably better than what I could do. So that said, I'll link you to a good video on that. And if you're curious how much this costs for all this, let's see, the line was $1.20 for 6 inches of line, and the fuel pump pickup was $3.80, and the overall kit was $12.95, and the air filter was $4.90. So we had a grand total of $24.90. This is an interesting place, this lawnmower shop. They do a lot of business, and they sell a lot of new machines and service a lot of them. But you go to the parts counter and there's like several people back there, but at any one time at least half of them are doing something else and not paying attention to the customers, or they're actually paying attention to the customers but they're standing there talking to them about everything but lawnmower stuff, where to eat, what's going on in the cities.
Councilman Richard Shower shops in there. That's where he gets his lawnmower worked on.
So, all right, guys, I'm going to do this, and if I find anything interesting on the way, I'll let you know. I hear a killdeer out there. We have several of those. But if I find anything interesting to show you, I will, but I'm probably not going to. I'll just get this thing rebuilt and assembled back on the machine, and we'll try once again to get this beast brought back to life. So, see you then. Alright, well, I thought I'd turn you back on real quick and just show you a couple things. This carburetor was not dirty. I've already cleaned it up, but it was not dirty. What the problem with this is that the rubber bits of the carburetor, this is a diaphragm, were very stiff, and they're not supposed to be. You can see that this rubber is very pliable, and this was no longer that way, so these don't work as good. And the main thing, this is the fuel pump side of it here, and this is just a little piece of rubber, and it's got these small little leaflets made onto it, one there and then one to the left right there, that one and that one, and those are just like one-way check valves, and they let this goes on this side here and mounts down like that, and actually I'm lying to you, mounts down like this. And what happens is this, you got a fuel inlet, you see how it's covered over, show you there, it's covered over two of these ports. What's supposed to happen is those are supposed to flop open and let fuel flow out of those ports, but not into them. But what's going on usually is that when this thing is set as long as it has, these are no longer pliable. They don't really move anymore, so you don't have any fuel flow. See, I can push that with my fingernail. If I'd show it to you, sorry. pushed that with my fingernail barely, but when you compare it to the new one, see how flexible that is? The new one is not near as thick as the old one. I hope that's not a problem, but Walbro says it'll work. So yes, we do have some loud birds around here. This is mating season, I guess, nest building season, and so they're making a lot of noise over there. There's two right over there at that transformer. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this thing back together, and we'll see what happens. See ya. Here's a little trick I taught myself to get this silly fuel line worked around so I could put the end on it. This thing, the weighted filter down in the bottom. So I just took my roll of baling wire and ran it around and drew it out here and run the fuel line down it. And now I'm going to pull the baling wire out, and there my fuel line will be. Oh, by the way, there's the revving Honda parked right in front of the revving Toyota. Both of them are out of commission right now, but they made an attempt to get that one running again. They got it running again, but something's wrong with the clutch. It needed a slave cylinder, and they ended up, I think, tell me that. Got me, didn't you? He told me that they had broken or rounded off where the I guess the hard line on those goes down to the slave cylinder, and couldn't get the line off of it. And you know, those things are all, they just stopped on it. Those things are all over the junkyard. I'm thinking to myself, you know, man, just yank the damn slave cylinder off there and start over. Just go get another line. But they got stopped on it, so I don't know that much about it. Maybe it's harder than it looks, but that's it. In case you're wondering what was revving up. Okay, you ready to give this thing a yank again? It dropped gas out like it was temporarily flooded, but then it quit doing that, so hopefully we're okay. Maybe that needle valve was just settling in. First time for having fuel in it. Well, first time since the carb's been ripped, but I saw another issue. I noticed, if you look at this cap right here, this is supposed to be a vented cap, like all of them are, and this this substance here in the center, I don't know what this is, but it resembles petrified plastic. So I'm thinking that was at some point supposed to be foam, but it's probably no longer even anything close to foam. So I'm going to just loosely put this on, and so the fuel system can vent, and we'll see what happens. Try and see. I know it's getting gas, that's for sure. All right. No chuck. Full chuck. No cell there. Come on. Nothing. I get nothing. Okay. Tackle this again. Back in a minute. Okay, well, you know, I'm just thinking outside the box here, and I may be totally off base, but this is the cover to the fuel pump, which I had on upside down. It was on this way, it should have been that way. So I'm just kind of thinking that maybe if I turn that back around the other way, this may work better. So I'm going to try that. And I could be, like I said, I could be way off about that. It may not matter. Even though there's sculpted areas out there for a reason. So, yeah, I'll admit it. I make mistakes. So, try it this way. Okay, somebody keeping a list of mistakes I've made so far. So. So that runs pretty well. I've got, this is supposed to take 40 to 1 and I've got 32 to 1 in it. So it doesn't seem to be smoking or anything too major. So I'll do a little bit of, before I run it anymore, I'll do some research to make sure that that's not going to hurt it, because 32 to 1 is what my lawnmower takes over there. So that sounds good and all that, so I'm good with that. I'm going to research the fuel cap issue and see if this is something I need to, whatever this petrified stuff is, I need to dig out of there. But yeah, so that'll work. And this thing should be a lot lighter. I've got a 4-cycle, but it is pretty hard on my back because it's, like I said, it's pretty heavy. So we get this one in service. And one thing I noticed, excuse me, this throttle cable is kind of sticky. It tends to stay where you leave it. You can see up there, I let off of it, doesn't go all the way back to the stop. So I'll see if I can lubricate that a little bit. And here's your information sticker. Anybody that's interested in that. That is 40005502, serial number 11-156263. Okay guys, well thank you so much for watching. I know a lot of people enjoy these repair videos, I do too. So, looks like it's going to try to start raining, so I think I'm going to start the old Silver Series lawn boy up here in a minute and do some more yard cutting back here, and that'll be my Saturday afternoon. Okay guys, well thanks again. So I appreciate you watching, rating, subscribing, and I'll try to do as many of these as I can. I like to repair videos. So I've got another weed eater in there that I may or may not start on soon. It's a home light. I showed you that the first, and it's in a little bit rougher shape than this one is, but we may take a crack at that one too. All right, have you a good one. See ya.